The Dyatlov Pass Incident, a chilling, true horror story. The expedition begins arrival in the Ural Mountains. We were excited. 9 of us, young and eager, stood at the edge of the frozen wilderness, snapping pictures and laughing as we prepared to hike. Igor Dyatlov, our leader, was confident. We were experienced hikers. This was just another adventure. Setting up camp. By sunset, we found a clearing on Kholat Shakal, Dead Mountain. The name meant nothing to us at the time. We set up our tent, the wind whistling through the trees. I wrote in my journal that night. Something about the air felt still. Too still. Unseen eyes. Watching that night, I woke up to a noise, a whisper, a shift in the wind. My heart pounded as I stared at the fabric of the tent. I swore I saw a shadow move outside. I whispered to Zina beside me, but she brushed it off. Paranoia, she said. Strange lights in the sky. The next evening, while gathering firewood, one of us screamed. We turned and saw him staring at the sky. By the time we looked, the strange glowing lights had vanished. He swore they were there, floating, watching. Mysterious footprints. Morning came, and we found footprints, huge inhuman prints leading toward the forest. We laughed it off. The yeti is watching us, but none of us really found it funny. The last photograph. We took a picture. It was meant to be a joke, one of us standing in the snow with an exaggerated look of fear. But when we developed the film, his eyes weren't joking. He looked truly afraid. And behind him, in the misty blur, something stood in the distance. A sudden panic. I don't remember what woke me. A noise? A pressure in the air? All I know is that pure terror overtook us. We scrambled, clawed at the tent, cutting it open from the inside. We didn't even grab our boots. We just ran, scattering into the dark. Some ran toward the trees. Others froze in the open snow, too shocked to move. I heard voices, distorted, whispering, calling to us. The wind carried something else, something unnatural. The first death. I watched one of my friends collapse, gasping for breath. His lips turned blue, his final exhale visible in the frigid air before he went still. The broken bodies. 2 others huddled near the tree line, arms wrapped around each other in a desperate attempt to stay warm. But when I reached them, their eyes were open, lifeless, frozen in terror. The tree climber. I saw him, one of us, climbing, scrambling up a tree like a desperate animal. I heard his ribs crack when he slipped and fell. Before he died, he looked past me and whispered, "It's still here." A silent predator. 4 of us tried to hide in the ravine. That's where they found them, bones shattered from the inside. No bruises, no wounds, as if something had crushed them without ever touching them. The missing tongue. They say scavengers did it, but the way her tongue was removed, clean, precise, wasn't the work of an animal. Something took it. Something that wanted silence. Unexplainable burns. Some of us had burns, radiation burns. Later they tested our clothes. The levels were too high, unnatural. But who believes that part of the story? The frozen expression. They found Igor last, half buried in the snow, his mouth twisted in a silent scream. His eyes, wide, unseeing, stared at something none of us would ever understand. Investigators arrive. Weeks later, a rescue team found the bodies. The tent was still there, slashed open from within. No one had taken anything. No one had time. No signs of struggle. There was no avalanche, no animal attack, no logical explanation. The official report? Cause of death. Unknown compelling force. The cover-up begins. The government sealed the case. Families were warned not to ask questions. The files were locked away for decades. Secret military tests? Some say it was a Soviet experiment gone wrong. Maybe a weapon test. Maybe something even more classified. Paranormal theories. Others swear we saw something we shouldn't have. The lights, the whispers, something from above, something that didn't want us to leave. The Yeti theory. The Mansi hunters warned of the Menk, an ancient, massive creature that stalks the mountains. Maybe we weren't alone. Maybe we were prey. Strange lights return. Years later, new hikers in the same area saw the same floating lights, the same eerie whispers carried by the wind. The story never ended. Unfinished business. Decades later, a surviving friend of Dyatlov returned to the site. He left behind a note in the snow. "We will never know." The final shot. A slow zoom out. The snow-covered mountain, silent and untouched. The wind howls one last time, whispering secrets we will never uncover.